Alright, so in case you've been living under a rock and don't know what Black Clover is, it's basically a series that was considered a Naruto ripoff for quite a long time, and it's also compared to Fairy Tail a lot, and overall it just gets a lot of flack in the community, and since I read volumes 1 through 12 of the manga recently, I figured, why not give the series a fair chance, make a video about it, give some hot takes, and with all that being said, let's just jump into it.
What we do here is go back.
You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
Alright, so a lot of people call Black Clover a Naruto ripoff, and overall, the series really isn't anything like Naruto, but the first volume and a half is almost like a carbon copy, fast-paced, rushed version of Naruto, and that really isn't a good start for the series. And that's not to say that the first volume and a half isn't enjoyable, because I definitely did get a lot of enjoyment out of that content, but if you've read or seen Naruto Part 1, it's clear that Black Clover used Naruto as a foundation for the series. With that being said though, the series really does develop its own identity as it goes on, and as it develops more of its own identity, the series just gets better and better. To add on to that, around chapter 40, the series really cranks up a few notches in quality because it introduces some of the main villains in the series, it gives some really good fights, and overall it really expands upon what the series initially had. And I wasn't really expecting too much about the world of Black Clover, but as the chapters went on, more of the economic and political structure was fleshed out, and this really made me interested to see what the series has in store, because there's definitely a lot of stuff about the world of Black Clover that isn't explained, and whether that be the different kingdoms that are yet to be introduced, or, characters and where they came from, I'm pretty hyped to see the future of Black Clover, because I know that Tabata has some great stuff in store, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where all these different plot lines go. So during the early volumes of Black Clover, I was thinking, maybe Asta's not the best choice for the main character. Maybe Noelle could have been a much better main protagonist, and Asta could have been one of the characters. But after reading 12 volumes of Black Clover, I'm really gonna have to, lay my foot down here and disagree with that, because Asta is a very interesting protagonist, and I'm definitely not gonna sit here and say he's the best shonen protagonist, because he's probably not even in my top 10 shonen main characters. But that's okay, because no one was asking for Asta to be the greatest character in shonen history, they were just asking him to be a good character for the focus of Black Clover. And I really do think he delivered on that. Asta doesn't have magic in a world where you pretty much need magic, but that really doesn't stop him. He doesn't sit around crying about it. He actually, does something about it. He works hard, he gets big, he trains, and he overcomes for his weaknesses. And I know the trope about not giving up is one of the most overdone tropes in shonen, and it's something that's really memed over, but I do think that's one of the main things that makes Asta likable. There are scenes in this manga where Asta will be injured, he'll be in a near-death situation, but he still doesn't give up. And it really does show that if Asta can move even a little bit, he'll more than likely jump back into the fight and at least give it his very best shot. So basically what I'm trying to say is Asta works hard and he gets that bread.
Come on, Flick fans! Let's work hard!
Now, I want to mention the misdirection and plot twists in Black Clover, because, there were some good ones in Black Clover, and I'm not going to say that Black Clover has the best plot twists of all time, because some kind of fell flat and I kind of saw them coming from a mile away, but others, they really got the sneak on me. There were some reveals in the series where I was like, okay, this is definitely gonna happen 100%, and when the reveal actually happened, I would be a bit taken aback that it wasn't what I expected it to be. And I like that. I like how Yuhi Tabata specifically leads the series in one direction, and then splits off into another last minute, and I like that. I always like a good surprise when reading manga, and I definitely wasn't expecting Black Clover to have some of those, but it had some pretty good ones. Alright, so let's talk about the artwork now, because, you know, I thought the artwork was pretty impressive in Black Clover. You know, Yuki Tabata really has a good understanding of how to draw shonen manga, and he really has an appealing art style that's able to be read fast, while also, you know, compacting some detail in there that's not too confusing, and the page layouts are always, you know, nice to see, and it has a good flow to them. And just a little side note here about the pacing in this series is fast. Every chapter is high energy, every chapter packs some heat, and, you know, that's not really something that I could say about most shonen series I have read. Because even the good ones, even some of the series that I really like, you know, they have some sleep chapters, if we're being honest here. You know, a lot of manga out there, you know, they have a lot of great moments, but they will have spans of chapters that will be complete sleep. But so far, volumes 1 through 12 of Black Clover have had very little sleep. I'm not gonna say they've had no sleep, because they definitely have had some chapters that didn't really do it for me. But for the most part, the majority of Black Clover chapters are high energy, and they really do the job well. Going back to talking about the artwork, I really don't have a ton more to say besides the fact that I really like it overall, but I do want to say a little complaint here. Some of the characters had weird looking mouths, and I'm not really sure how to expand upon that, and I'm not really trying to be like funny here or anything. I'm just saying, you know, there were some characters where their mouths would be kind of weirdly drawn, and it would kind of take me out of the moment, so hopefully that improves as the series goes on in the future. So I guess the last big thing I have to say about Black Clover is the way the Black Bulls interact with each other is really well done. I think that, you know, it really comes across well that they're one big family, or, you know, one group of really close friends, and I really like that about the series, because even when there would just be several chapters where the characters would be talking, I really do think that, you know, it was nice to see the characters interacting with each other. With that being said, though, there were characters like Gordon, where every time he was on the page, I was just like, okay, what is this dude doing here? He's not, you know, interesting at all. And there were other characters like Gray, where I was like, okay, I want to see more moments of this character not in their transform state. And, you know, I think the character has a lot of potential, so hopefully there's some good moments with that character in the future. In conclusion, I think that Black Clover is a pretty good manga. I don't think it's a bad manga, I don't think it's as great as some of the fans of the series make it out to be, but I think it's a good series that's worth checking out if you haven't already. It's definitely a series that's going to be a hit or miss for a lot of people, but I think that's fine for now, because it's progressed a lot since where it was from the start, and, you know, I think it's worthy of being one of the bigs, and I'm excited to see where it ends up in the future. In conclusion, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go on down there and give a big ol' smack to that like button, and drop a comment letting me know what you think of this video or Black Clover, and how about you subscribe? I recently, you know, renamed my channel to T-Dog Reviews, making it sound more professional and whatnot. And also, I have a spicy new banner by Gear Third Manga Reviews. Make sure to check out his channel. Big thanks to him on that one. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.